Hi everyone, this is Ala from ImRujiNet channel. In this tutorial today we will learn together how to install DNS server on Linux. I'm using a Linux CentOS 6.9 version and we'll be installing our BIND DNS server. So let's start. First, I will open a terminal. Okay. I'll log in as a root. Enter the password for my root. I'm not sure if you can see. I'm just gonna try to make the font bigger. Edit, profiles, edit, yes, I'll make it probably 14. That looks better. Okay, I close it. That looks better. Okay, first I'll verify if I do have the bind package, the DNS package. Grep bind. So let's see, I do have RPC bind, Samba winbind, bind libs, YP bind, Samba winbind again, and bind util. But the one I want, which is bind 9.8.2, it's not there. So we will install it using the command yum install bind. Enter. It will look for the package. As you can see, this is the package I need, the bind 9.8. I will enter Y for yes, then enter. Okay, great. Now that we have installed our bind server, we need to set up one interface at least with a static IP address. I do have two IP addresses. As you can see here, I do have the Ethernet 0, which is connected to my home ISP router. It's getting an IP address through DHCP, and I have added one interface Ethernet 01, which is not set up yet, and this is what we're gonna do. We need to set it up. In order to do that, we have to create a file for this interface. So I think we will use the text editor gedit, and we will navigate to the path etc sysconfig network dash scripts ifcfg dash eth1. I'm gonna name it 1. This file, for now, as of now, it doesn't exist. We need to create it. I'll make the font bigger so that you can have a better. No, I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use probably 16. I'm going to use bold, that you can have a better view. Gonna make it bigger. Okay, so I will open the file that I prepared actually. So what I'm recording now, I already prepared it as a technical article. So I'll copy the details. I'm gonna paste them, and I'm gonna modify what I need to modify. Here it says hardware ADDR which is the MAC address. So I can get the MAC address by looking here. I wish you can see here my cursor. So here, when I run ifconfig next to Ethernet 1, I do have the MAC address, which is here. Copy, paste it. Type of my interface is Ethernet. On boot, yes, I want it to be activated on boot. NM controlled, yes, I want it to be controlled by network manager. So when I start or restart the service, it's gonna start it. Boot proto. Here I selected static. I didn't want to select DHCP because obviously we need a static IP address. For this network, internal network, subnet, I will select something in the range of 172.16.20.1, for example. And I will give it a mask of 24. We have our interface ready, so I'm gonna save the file. Okay, service, network, restart. Okay, as you can see here, all good, all of them. Bring it up interface, Ethernet 0. Okay, bring it up interface, Ethernet 1. Okay, great. So now let's clear the screen and let's start working on the DNS file, configuration file. It's called etc named.conf. So here it says listen on port 53. It has the local IP address, so we can add our IP address that we just, our static IP address that we just set. For the IPv6, I don't want to listen on IPv6, so I'm gonna comment this line. To comment in the named configuration file, you just had to add //. Here, these files, I'm not gonna touch them. I will leave them by default. Allow query, so we'll leave the local host and I will add the subnet. Recursion yes, so some sites actually to be resolved. For example, if I want to resolve internet websites such as YouTube, so it requires recursion. There is one interesting option I want to add. It's called forwarders. This option is useful actually to resolve external websites, external URLs. So I'm gonna give probably the public DNS from Google. Please note that you should be careful with the spaces and the semicolon. So after the forwarders, I hit tab, okay? Then I opened a bracket. So I made a space. I entered the IP address. I entered the semicolon just right after. Then a space, my next address, a semicolon, a space. I close the bracket, then another semicolon. And here I should include my zones. So I will type zone. I will give the name of my zone. I'm ruji.net space. So the domain name should be in double quote. Then I open a bracket, a tab, type, master, so that's the only one I have, semicolon, allow update, none, because it's the only DNS I have in my infrastructure. I'll just double check if I made something wrong. Yes, and I need to select the file, and I should put IN. Okay, here IN, and here I should mention what is the file that will serve as where my DNS will look up for name resolutions. So we'll name it for forward dot imruji.net. Did I miss something? No, I didn't. All good. And now I will create the entry for the reverse zone. The reverse zone, actually, how it works. For example, my IP address is 172.60.20.1. Okay, the reverse zone, it takes only the first 3 octets and it reverses them. So instead of starting with 172, it will start like this: 20.16.172.ARPA, I think. I'll just double check to make sure. Yes, .in dash addr ARPA IN, and open the bracket, say type master. Did I miss something? So no, all good. The file, sorry, I wasn't typing. The file, it will be, yeah, I will name it rev for reverse, rev.imruji.net. Allow update, none, and I close the bracket. I think now we're good with our etc named.conf file. We're good. So now I will have to create my zone files. Okay. Just to mention that the zone file should be in this particular location, which is var named. It's not in etc named. It will be in var slash named. Okay. And I will copy. Okay, so here I will say first this file, okay, and I will do cd for change directory space slash var named, and I'm gonna hit enter, so that would be in the right directory. And now I'm just gonna do gedit, and I will enter the file name straightforward. .imruji.net. Okay. paste. Okay. Here actually, where it says my CentOS, you can replace it by your host name. In my case, this machine is called my CentOS server, so I will add server in front of it. Obviously, imruji.net, you will replace it by your domain name. Okay. The serial. So this one I'm going to just do a tab so that this can be aligned with the other lines. Here, this line should be there actually. At tab, in tab, name server tab, then you give the same name server as above. This will be your authority name server. And here you give the name of your name server, my CentOS server, in. Record type, it's a type A. And we enter the address. I can create an alias, a CNAME record for this one just to make it easy. So I will name it, for example, web. For example, in C name, and I give the name that it refers to. So it will be referring to the A record, my CentOS server, and we save the file. Okay, now we'll do the same thing with the reverse zone file. It's quite different. It's quite similar, only some few differences due to the reverse zone requirements. So I'm going to clear the screen so to have a better view. So we say the name we've selected in the name.conf file. If you remember, it was rev.imruji.net. Okay, I will paste the details. So I'm just gonna change what needs to be changed. Server. So this is my parent domain. Okay. Here again, my CentOS server 172.16.20.1. So here in the record, master DNS. Why did I write master DNS? No, this one probably I made a mistake. It should be my CentOS server. Okay. Here, if you realize this one, what does it stand for? This number 1 is the 4th octet of my IP address. Suppose, for example, if the last octet was 200, okay, then the number there should be 200. Okay, I'll just remove this comment. It was there just to clarify. And I think we're good. Yes, I think we're fine. I'll save my file. Okay. Then the next step. Yes, it's to start our DNS server. To start our server, we'll just have to type service named start. Okay, here it says unknown. Okay, probably I know what's the mistake. It's forward, not forwards. There is an S there, forwarders, sorry, not forwards, forwarders. Okay, I'll just correct. gedit etc named .conf. What is upper? So forwarders. Save. Okay. Clear. Service named start. Okay, for some reason it says there is an error. Format text. That's strange. Okay, so it's obviously in this file. Oh no, I know where it is. Edit. So I'm happy that errors occurred so that we can see how we can troubleshoot. That's the error. That's the error. There was a bracket that was opened while it should not be here. So and the same thing I think for our reverse zone. No, the reverse zone is fine. So it was telling just the issue was with the forward zone. Okay, now technically if we do service name start, still okay, it says line 11. It's again in forward zone. That's strange. Okay. Here we go. As you can see, here there was just some misplaced comments. I should have placed them in the beginning of the line, probably above the line that I wanted to put comments on. Okay, as you can see here, the DNS has started fine. If I want to make it available on boot, so I don't need to start it every time I restart my computer, so I just do chk config named on. Great. So now one more thing to mention. There is a file that I need to modify so that I can make it point to my DNS IP address, not the one provided by my service, my ISP service provider. For example, if I go to that file, which is etc resolve.conf, cat is just to display the output of the file, what's in there, the content of the file. As you can see here, it says generated by network manager, domain home, name server 192.168.0.1. This is the address of my home router. This is the DNS provided by my ISP home router. I don't want that. I don't want my home router to resolve the name for me. It doesn't have the name that the records that I have added in my CentOS server web for the CNAME, etc. So how to do that? How to make this name server point to the IP address, the static IP address that I have set for my server? First, it's a good practice actually, although if we restart the computer it will revert back to this same configuration, but I prefer to do a backup of the important files. To do a backup, just create a copy. Basically cp is the command to create a copy, cp etc resolve.conf space / etc resolve.conf dot backup, for example. Okay, and now I will modify the whole content of the etc resolve.conf. I want it to have only one line. How to do that? We'll type echo, we open the double quote, and we type name server space, and I enter the IP address of my server. Close the quote, space, greater than sign, space, etc resolve.conf. Okay, if we run again, cut resolve.conf, as you can see, I have only one line. Great. Now let's test our DNS server. If I do dig my CentOS server .imruji.net, as you can see, here it is, answer section. It found it, it detected it's an A record, and it returned its IP address. Let's do it for web, for example, the alias I created, web.imruji.com. Look at the answer section. It has two entries. It detected that web.imruji is a C name, and it shows here what's the A record that it refers to, and it gives also the A record with its matching IP address. So basically this is how to install a DNS server in CentOS Linux. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Thank you for watching, and I wish you a good day.